going to jump in on some puzzle training and see how we get on. This one is from a 3+2 blitz, so it immediately conjures up a quick move of some sort between 1700s. Find the best move for white. So they're there, we push. We can't do a double pawn, no we can't. They go, we go, they go, we go, way too slow. They go, we go. Oh, you silly man, you are in time. Boom, so they get the queen, and then we can get the queen with the check on their queen. Oh, I thought the rhythm was not out. Why did I? You see, got to take my time with these things. In back of my head, subconsciously, I'm saying to myself, this is not working. We're one behind. We're one behind. Let's do it again. So it's our go. Push, 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 push. Yeah, so their queening is useless because it's not got a check on us. We get the check on. Right. Yes, eventually we got there. We followed the right path right from the very beginning, but somehow our count didn't tally up. And the only reason it didn't tally up was because my brain was saying it's lost. You're going to be behind. So I was counting to make it not work. So that took a long time for a simple pattern that we saw right at the very beginning. I think it's just sitting back and reconfirming the calculation, especially based off of recent OTB games that we played. Just really knuckle down and finalize the calculation. Don't do like a cursory glance at it and say, well, pff, you know, especially if it's coming towards the end game. Really got to knuckle down and fine tune it and really just grind it out as best possible. Alright, so we'll go for the next one. Okay, what have we got here? This is another 3+2 blitz game against 2100s. It doesn't mean that it's a 2100 puzzle, but you know, it's against higher rated players in a blitzy type game. It's our turn. Find the best move for black. King looks well jammed in. Their bishop is actually on our queen. Bishop can just put a check on the king, and that looks like it is almost over because the queen is the only thing that can come and protect. Looks simple enough. I think that's pretty straightforward. Probably don't need to labour too much on that, but sometimes the obvious moves are not the obvious moves. So we'll go here with the bishop, going to check on the king. King's got nowhere to go, as we said, can't come here. So the queen is the only one that has to come here, and then we just come here, and then that's checkmate. Yep. Excellent. Okay, didn't need to labour too much on that one. It looked pretty straightforward, but sometimes these puzzles, when you think it's straightforward, it's usually got a little bit of a additional nuance that you've got to balance out. So we'll go for the next one. Okay, and best move for black in this situation. Rook is hitting the queen. Knight's here. Knight's not got a check on the king at all. Although this is a nice move, because it would get their queen and we would have the knight. So if we went like this, which is a little bit fancy, oh, let's have a look at the ratings. 2176 versus a 2031. And it is a 30-minute classical game. So I would plump that they probably did something fancy and arty like this, because if the rook takes the queen, then the knight takes, and it's got a fork on the king and the rook. That's the arty business that I think they would go for. Move the knights. They can always move their queen. Knight's not under threat in any way, shape. But then we would be able to get a checkmate if they did nothing. So we will bring the knight here for the bit of art. And he does take, and then we get the queen off the board. Excellent, nice one. Nice that we saw that one. That's pretty smooth. And that's puzzle 3. I think we will just do 5. Yeah, so we'll do another one. And this is against a 22-18 and a 20-43. It's a 10-minute rapid game. And just because it's these high-rated players doesn't mean the puzzle is that level. And let's see, so find the best move for black. So instantly looking for the knight, check on the king. Pawn's got the rook, but can't take because this rook is hitting here. Alright, so there's no checks on the king. That's okay. Could do this and get the rook off the board because it's another fork. I think that's probably the way to go. Yep. Just bring the knight here. Don't need to overthink that one. Looks like Fork City with these puzzles. Yep, and just grab. Do we grab? Before we jump, don't want to mess everything up. Yes, we do grab, of course. Excellent. And we're going for the last one. This is a 3-0 blitz versus 22-73 and a 21-51. And as I've said before, just because these are high rated players does not mean the puzzle is that level. Find the best move for black. It's a 3-0 blitz. Best move for black. It's got a fork here, another fork with the knight. Looks like the Fork City here. Queen's defending the pawn. Rook could go, but they will take the queen. Queen can drop and we'll take the rook. I think we'll go with the fork again. Let's go with the knight. And do we take with the... Oh, you see. Do we take... Well, I suppose if we take here, we're still attacking the queen and we're defending the pawn. Yep, so we'll take with the rook. Knight. Excellent. Nice bit of practice of puzzle there. We don't really like puzzle training or tactics training type thing, because the positions, sometimes we feel we don't really end up in those types of positions. But in the general scheme of things, it does help with pattern recognition of what the pieces can potentially do. And as you saw with the latter games that we did here with the puzzles, most of them were knight forks. So it's nice to be able to see those knight fork type things and take appropriate action. Okay, so I'm going to play a rapid game off of the back of the pattern training. See if we can see any movements that need to be utilized during the game that have a big impact. Usually it's just a matter of working through into the end game. This player is not going to play either. Alright, okay, looks like they're taking the time. Let's just push the pawn in front of the king, let the pieces breathe. It's moving the same piece twice. Doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing. Just bring the knight out, attacking the knight. Oh, okay, fair enough. So the higher piece I think we will take with the bishop. This is not the sort of game I wanted to play. We could save the bishop or we could just take the knight. Which one should we do? Save the bishop? Just bring it back. It's going to be one of those sort of games. It is going to be one of those sort of games. Let's take the knight. And let's again take the rook. This is not the game I want to be playing. Come on. Right, we'll get ready for the next game. And let's castle. There's a tenuous benefit to these sort of games, is that, well, at least you get to play quirky, unusual type moves, and you get to capture and position in positive ways. Well, supposedly, you know, for your targeting, that type of thing. But it's not the way to go if you're really wanting to play against the stronger players who do not play like this, but they show other weaknesses in other areas which are a bit more developed. Attacking the pawn, might as well support and make space for the bishop. And yes, they're just giving pieces up, so we will take. And we could move the knight. Could move it just to attack the pawn. So we can take, if the pawn takes, then we can take the queen. And we will take the queen. We do have a check on the king, or we can take the pawn with the check on the king. Bring the rook and put a check on the king. We've got space to move for the knight. Put a check on the king. Was there anything better? Could have maybe done something better. No. Get the bishop out. Attacking the pawn. Could have taken this pawn actually. We'll take this pawn with a check on the king because it's highly developed up the board. My gosh, they're still playing. I'm going to take this pawn with the bishop. I'm going to develop the knight. Take the bishop off the board. Take the knight. X-ray through to the king. Bishop's got no support, but the king can't get to it. So we will take the pawn with the rook. Got to be careful of stalemates. Going to bring the rook here. That should be all they wrote. Okay, very not interesting. Let's crack him 15-10 with some good play. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not the same player. Let's attack the pawn. As we do, just pushing in the centre. I'm not too sure about that, but we will take. And we'll take. Then we'll put a check on the king. Put another check on the king. And then take the rook off the board. Could take the rook off the board. He gets a check on our king. Bishop can come and defend. He then goes down and takes a pawn here. I think we'll do that. Boom, boom, boom. This bishop or this bishop, which one? Takes. He's still going to get this pawn anyway, but it looks like they've left the game. So two not very interesting games. Searching for a strong game to just finish off this session. We've done the pattern training session and we're looking to try and practice the patterns in the game. So I'm going to go for one more, and even if this one's no good, that's it for today. Let's go. Right, let's go. Pushing in the center. Let's get the knight up. Proposes a take back. My god, we must be in silly hour. Crikey. I'll accept because something weird's happening. Let's just attack the pawn. Take the center. Well, I'm hoping we've got a proper thinker who is going to put in the work and take us to the wire. We can get some practice in. Let's capture. Sitting the queen. Supported. Could just put a check on the king. They can do all sorts. Bring this here. Yeah, exactly. So we can take the pawn. It's not necessarily a good thing because they do some funky business with the bishop. We're going to take it anyway. Then the bishop comes here. And we go flying back. Maybe down to here. Maybe protecting. So he's not... Oh, you see, this is special hour, isn't it? Or is my queen getting trapped in there because I can't come out here? And I can't go there. And I can't go here. So the only thing I can do is attack the bishop. Which means the king's probably moving, so the queen's supporting. Still a bit trapped in there really, because we can't go here to come out. But it's on a dark square. The only piece that can trouble it is the dark square bishop. So there might be method in their madness. Probably checking. Nope. Yep, move the king like we said. So we can just, looks like we simply can just take. It's offered a draw. It might be a draw, or maybe they've made a mistake and I can capitalise somehow. It's on a dark square, x-ray through with the knight. We've got two pieces on there then. Oh, interesting. We could bring the bishop here. And there's no other piece defending there, then we've got to check on. I think that looks better, doesn't it? I'm going to bring this here and look to see if we can attack here. Oh, and they've resigned. Yay! Let's have a look at the analysis. Oh, Fandabidozi. Did I just say Fandabidozi? Okay. Okay, yeah. Normally they bring the bishop here, causing complications. We're going to come all the way back. Not going here because he's just going to push down. Got the x-ray through, so here. So that's fine, yep. None of the games were a great stretch, which is a shame, really. I said this was the last one, but I'm feeling like I need to try and get a stronger exit. Let's go for it. Final one. Let's give it a bit of time because I don't want the same players. Where was I? Back to the lobby. Okay, let's push through the center. Oh my god, game aborted. It must be funny hour. Yeah. Let's push. Get the knight out. Looks like they're going to be taking the pawn with the bishop. Let's hit this bishop. Give this pawn up. If you've ever watched any proper type high level game, well, like the super grandmaster type things, and you watch their games and you see them giving pawns up, giving pieces up, left, right and center, and you think, what the heck is going on here? And you think that goes against the whole grain of chess. You know, you just think, what? They're giving that piece up to do this, that, you know, but you know, somehow they're finding ways of making these things kind of work, but sometimes it's a different way of just actually getting the same type of position that you would normally get if you really wanted to get that sort of position. So +1 could take and invite the queen in, or we could just take and this pawn we're wanting to go, because if we do that, queen comes down, we're not going to be taking here. We do have space for a check on the king, but it's blocking the dark square bishop. So yeah, we have resigned ourselves to the fact that this pawn is going for a better position. Let's take, and it's grabbed. So that's like my bait. You know, we've baited that pawn into that position. I want to ignore it, get castled. Oh, fair enough. They're getting a minor piece as well out of it. So this is making it very juicy. Excellent. Right, now we've got a game. So they're a minor piece up. And see if we can fight back. This is the last game. We wanted juicy. And I was just saying, you know, you watch the Grandmasters or whatever in some of their games, you just think, what? They're just giving pieces up left, right and centre. For what reason? Just going to bring this bishop here. So we've done exactly that. Just going a bit crazy because we've had some really bad games that we've just played just now. Can I castle? We'll get the knight out. It's an interesting situation. Don't have to take. Bring the bishop here. No, we could have done that though, because we would have got this pawn. But hit the bishop. Now we've got a game. We're down a minor piece, down a pawn. Excellent. So he's just constantly protecting here, but he's just lost the bishop. Unless there's a fork that I'm missing from their knight. Attacking our knight that doesn't have any protection. Anything else? Just move the knight out of the way, obviously. Let's move the knight to here. Rook in the center. No place. Bring it back down. Now they're only +1. Owning the file, the open file. He's not using that. Just block it all off. Just bring the knights here and attack their knight. Computer probably say take with this pawn, but I'm not doing that. I'm not risking it for a biscuit. It's attacking our bishop that has no protection. Could hide in the corner here. Could just come back here. It will come back here. Managing this square. Come back around, attacking the pawn. Got nowhere to go. Yeah, okay, let's hit the pawn. Bait it down, attack. The rook is down. Attacking the bishop. Sweeping down, attacking the pawn. So we get a pawn, he gets a pawn. Bring the rook down. It's not really doing anything there. Let's do that. Pawn for a pawn, then this pawn's got no protection. Or does he do it first? Then we can still do that. They're deep in fort. They're thinking the rook's getting a little bit trapped. So they'll probably bring this one here. Then take. Then bring this here. And then they're going to be on this pawn as well. Signal's going. Oh, come on, put in the work. We need these sort of end games. Oh, I don't believe it. Opponent left the game.